Earlier in this lecture, I mentioned that the four dimensions of organizational structure, formalization, centralization, specialization, and hierarchy, are not independent. They influence each other and should remain consistent. For example, a highly centralized organization often has more levels of hierarchy and a higher degree of formalization. Because of these patterns, we can observe two main structural configurations in organizations: mechanistic and organic. Mechanistic structures are highly formalized and centralized, with tall hierarchies and clearly defined roles. In contrast, organic structures are flatter, more decentralized, and less formalized. Each configuration works best under certain conditions. In rapidly changing environments that require innovation, creativity, and adaptation, an organic structure is usually a better fit. Smaller, knowledge-based organizations also tend to benefit from organic designs because they need flexibility and collaboration. Large, established companies in stable environments often perform better with a mechanistic structure. In such settings, efficiency and consistency matter more than flexibility. For example, consider McDonald's. The company is known for its efficiency and consistent quality across locations. To maintain this consistency, McDonald's uses strict procedures and detailed job descriptions. Every process, from frying potatoes to assembling burgers, is standardized. This ensures that customers have the same experience whether they visit a McDonald's in New York or Los Angeles. Employees at McDonald's do not make major decisions. Instead, they follow established manuals and guidelines provided by headquarters. Even franchise owners receive specific training at McDonald's University before managing a branch. This approach ensures reliability and cost efficiency, but limits flexibility and innovation. In contrast, Gore and Associates, the company behind Gore Techs, is an example of an organic structure. At Gore, employees do not have formal job descriptions. When someone joins the company, they are encouraged to explore different areas and discover where they can contribute most effectively. Mentors guide new employees as they find their niche. People at Gore have time to develop new ideas, and when a novel idea becomes a successful product, the company patents it and shares credit and rewards with the inventor. This encourages creativity and entrepreneurship within the company. However, such an organic structure does not always work well in very large organizations. Gore often spins off successful projects into new independent units to maintain agility. Each business unit retains Gore's innovative culture and flat structure, but focuses on a specialized market. In strategic terms, mechanistic organizations usually follow a cost leadership strategy, focusing on efficiency and standardization. Organic organizations, by contrast, tend to adopt a differentiation strategy, emphasizing innovation and unique value creation. Modern organizational designs. As organizations evolved, new structures were developed to overcome the weaknesses of traditional forms. Three modern approaches are particularly important: matrix structures, boundaryless organizations, and learning organizations. The matrix structure combines the benefits of both functional and divisional designs. It is especially common in project-based or technology-driven companies. In a matrix structure, employees have two types of reporting relationships: one to their functional manager, such as a design or engineering supervisor, and another to a project or product manager. For example, in a software company, a user interface designer might work under the design department, but also contribute to multiple projects at once, perhaps one mobile app and one web platform. Because the matrix structure allows communication to flow both vertically and horizontally, it enables faster responses to customer needs and environmental changes. Product managers can coordinate directly with employees across departments to solve problems quickly. However, this structure can also create challenges. Since employees report to more than one manager, it may violate the principle of unity of command. Conflicts can occur when project managers and department heads compete for the same employees' time and attention. Employees in matrix organizations need strong communication and conflict resolution skills. Otherwise, the overlapping authority can lead to confusion and frustration. Despite these challenges, matrix structures remain effective for dynamic, project-oriented industries where collaboration and adaptability are key. Boundaryless organizations. Boundaryless organizations aim to remove barriers that separate departments and even blur the line between the company and its external environment. Traditional organizations often become too inward-focused, creating invisible boundaries that limit communication and feedback from customers, suppliers, and partners. A modular organization is one example of this approach. In a modular structure, the company outsources many of its activities and keeps only essential functions in-house. This reduces internal complexity and encourages closer cooperation with external partners. Toyota is a well-known example. It maintains deep, long-term relationships with its suppliers. Although these suppliers are technically outside Toyota's boundaries, they function as an extension of the company's ecosystem. This arrangement allows Toyota to be more flexible and responsive to market conditions. Another example of reducing boundaries is through strategic alliances. Organizations often form partnerships to share strengths and compensate for weaknesses. For instance, Toyota and General Motors created a joint venture called NUMMI in the United States to learn from each other's manufacturing methods. Similarly, Starbucks partnered with PepsiCo to distribute Frappuccino drinks in grocery stores. PepsiCo handled manufacturing and distribution, while Starbucks provided the brand and image. These alliances help companies expand capabilities and connect more deeply with their external environment. A learning organization is one that continuously improves by experimenting, learning, and adapting. These organizations embrace change and treat it as a normal part of growth. They engage in cycles of trial and reflection. After each new initiative or project, they analyze what worked and what did not, then incorporate those lessons into their processes. This allows them to evolve in response to changes in technology, customer preferences, and competition. However, change is never easy. People often resist it. There are different levels of resistance: active resistance, where employees openly oppose change; passive resistance, where they simply avoid supporting it; compliance, where they accept change reluctantly; and enthusiastic support, where they actively promote it. To increase support for change, leaders should involve employees in the process. When employees participate in decision-making and see their input valued, they are more likely to embrace new initiatives. Committees or cross-functional teams can help, but they require skilled facilitators to manage communication and align diverse interests. Resistance to change can sometimes prevent better ideas from succeeding. A classic example is the keyboard layout we still use today, known as QWERTY. This layout was originally designed to slow down typists on mechanical typewriters to prevent jamming. Even though faster and more efficient layouts were later invented, people resisted switching because of habit and training costs. As a result, the outdated QWERTY layout persists more than a century later. The same principle applies to organizations. Failure to adapt, even when better solutions exist, can lead to stagnation or decline. Successful organizations, therefore, are those that keep learning, experimenting, and evolving to stay aligned with their changing environments. In summary, organizational structures, whether mechanistic, organic, or modern hybrids, are not one-size-fits-all. Each has strengths and weaknesses depending on the organization's size, environment, and strategy. The key is alignment. The structure, culture, and strategy must fit together. Organizations that learn, adapt, and maintain internal consistency are the ones most likely to thrive over time.